Adriana, hypothetically, we're picking first. Who are you taking and why?
Probably Cam Ward. I personally like to lean towards SEC guys, so I do really like Jaylen Milroe, but I think overall Cam Ward has the full package for the Giants. And I just like also being an SEC person, I'm like 50-50 on Alabama as a whole. So that's what worries me. But I do think Jaylen Milroe has a lot of good qualities that would make him successful in the NFL. And I do think that working with Dable, he would end up being a good quarterback. But I think that from a talent perspective and like I worry about Milroe with the interceptions. He's had a lot of those as of late, and the inconsistency scares me more. So I feel like Cam Ward, to me, feels a little bit safer.
Chris, we're picking first. Who are you taking?
I know you guys are going to pick Cam Ward, and I like Cam Ward, and I'll be happy if they take Cam Ward. And maybe I will change my opinion. We still got a long way to go. I would take Shedeur Sanders, and I know a lot of Giants fans are scared off by that. They think about it's the same things I heard last year, though. You know, a month or two before the draft, when Giants fans were saying, "Oh, Malik Neighbors, the personality concerns me." I don't think the Giants will draft. Like, you saw a lot of people say that Rome Odunze is a better fit for what the New York, from a personality standpoint, for what the New York Giants are looking for. The Giants didn't go that route. They went for who they felt was the better player. And I don't think I don't think the personality thing is gonna play as much a factor as people think, that I see on Twitter when they're talking about Shedeur Sanders. The thing that I was really impressed with CJ Stroud as a prospect, that stood out to me when I watched him, wasn't his unbelievable arm strength, like a Josh Allen, like my jaw dropped. It was his mechanics. When I watched his footwork, when I watched his throwing motion, that impressed me a lot. And I see similar traits with Shedeur Sanders. I like his mechanics. He looks like a polished quarterback. And I think his arm strength, while it's not great, is better than people are giving him credit for. So I like both of them. I won't be upset if they take either one. But if I had to pick one today, I would pick Shedeur Sanders.
And the one thing you can say about Shedeur Sanders is he's pretty seasoned behind a really shitty offensive line, because last year, if you watch Shedeur Sanders, he got killed. That offensive line was horrific last year. So I guess he knows how to play under duress, which certainly helps coming to the New York Giants, because our quarterbacks seem to play under duress. Although maybe it is just Daniel Jones. We'll see if Tommy DeVito can get rid of the ball quicker. But Tommy DeVito took a ton of sacks last year as well. Now, the offensive line was terrible, but we'll see if he can release the ball quicker or not. I'm sure there's statistics out there that show how long Daniel Jones actually has to throw the ball and how long he holds on to the ball. So he's always had that nervous habit of patting the freaking ball instead of just throwing the damn thing. So, Anthony, I know that you're a Cameron Ward guy. So give us why you want Cameron Ward.
Well, I like Cam Ward for the reasons that we've mentioned: his aggressiveness, his willingness to take shots, his risk-taking ability, and I like his poise under pressure. I like the way that he extends plays within the pocket. He'll escape from the pocket, but it's not like his legs are a major focal point. It's more like what we saw from CJ Stroud coming out. And I'm not saying that it's a one-to-one talent comparison, not comparing the talent, but the playing style. Stroud is very good at kind of backing up, buying time behind the line of scrimmage, and then finding somebody downfield rather than buying time and bailing on the pocket and picking up yards with his legs. I see some of that in Cam Ward, just his ability to stay in the pocket, his desire to remain in the pocket. And I think that's a trait of a really good quarterback who not only can be good long-term, but good from day one. And Shedeur Sanders has those traits as well. And there is part of me that's intrigued by Sanders because, yeah, the Hall of Fame bloodline is something to be excited about. And it's almost like when you draft a kid like that and he's got this kind of star power and he's got Deion Sanders as his father behind him, can he fail? You know, like it just feels like one of those situations where the NFL won't let the kid fail. They want him to be a star. They will push him forward as much as they can. So sometimes that star power means a little bit of something. And that's why I'm open to, either one of those two guys. I like them both. But if you really were asking me what I would do if we were picking number one, if possible, I'd trade our second round pick and maybe the following one and try and right the wrong from last year. And I would take JJ McCarthy away from the Minnesota Vikings somehow. And then I would go McCarthy with the number one overall pick. I would trade down for a King's ransom and fill out all the other endless holes on this roster. If you can find a young quarterback with upside elsewhere and then build out the rest of this team, maybe you do that. But obviously that's not realistic.
I at least like that potential scenario. I don't think it's going to happen. I think Minnesota.
It's not. I just want to throw it out there for fun.
The scenario you just suggested, Anthony, if they only had to surrender maybe 2 seconds to get him,
sure,
you could always just move off of McCarthy in another year if he's not the guy. Like, so I do think he has upside, and I think he's comparable to any quarterback in this class. So I don't hate that scenario you just played out. But yeah, the thing that I'll say about Cam Ward, and again, I want to watch these guys more before I conclusively say. The one thing that I like about Cam Ward more is exactly what you just said over Shedeur Sanders. There's times where I watch Shedeur Sanders, he backpedals too much, he runs into sacks. I feel like Ward is better in that aspect of his game. What you brought up about extending plays, making something out of nothing. So from that standpoint, I think Cam Ward has a leg up.